All righty. So we are in accounting principles. This is for the spring semester. So if you were here Tuesday, this is going to go through the same information. We were able to get through the whole slides on Tuesday. I just forgot to hit record. And so for those that weren't there, we are here. All right, so I'd like to start off with an introduction of who I am. So I'm Derek Richard. You can call me Mr. Richard or Derek. I'm not a doctor. I am an adjunct professor. So what that means, the reason why HBU has me here is because I'm in the industry. I've been in industry for just over 10 years now. I started out at LSU and then came to Houston to kind of jump around at the Big Four. After getting senior, I moved into industry. Since then, I've been with Worley about 7 years now. So Worley is a internationally engineer firm. I've been most of the time on the statutory accounting, the technical accounting base. I call myself the 1-800 accounting helpline. Go. Sorry, guys, I have the dog here. So I call myself the 1-800 accounting hotline. Basically, throughout the company, if there's a technical accounting question, I'm kind of the go-to. I moved into the finance side of things. That lasted for about a year when I realized I'm not a finance, I'm an accountant. You'll learn the difference between the two is basically timing. So accounting is recording everything that happened up until this point. Finance is using that information and getting a future forecast and gearing it towards making a decision. So the accountants help prepare the information. The finance takes that to make the decision. I am a single dad. I am working in industry and I'm doing this. So I tend to be here and there a lot, but at any time, if you need me, if you need to go over a specific issue, you have my email. I check that pretty regularly, and just send me a Zoom invite and we'll kind of go through that. So at this point, I'd like y'all to turn on your video and say hi and tell me what you're doing in this class. Anybody?
I was here last time with you. I just had a few questions for later, so I'm here again.
All right, appreciate that. When we get to whatever part it's relevant to, we can go through that.
Hello, I'm Haley, and I'm here because I'm minoring in management. And so accounting is part of it, but I'm interested in seeing how it works and how we integrate accounting into the real world. So.
Hi, my name is Vania. I'm a returning student, so I'm not a traditional student. And I've been working in accounting for a couple of years now, but I finally decided to reach out and get my degree.
Great. It's always exciting to see. Anna, John, did y'all?
Hello.
How's it going?
So my name is Anna. I'm majoring in business marketing. So I'm taking this course because I need it for my major, but also because I took it in high school and I really liked the way it worked. So I wanted to see how it felt in college because of course it is different.
Sounds good. Counting's the same, but we'll see what new information we can give you. All right, so this class is going to depend on participation. I need to hear from y'all, understand where your questions are at, and so that way I can direct the message more.
I'm John. I'm a Canese major, and I just took the accounting class because I needed it.
Awesome. All right, it's a little bit hard, but I'm going to assume that's everybody on once, twice. All righty. So as everybody knows, we are still in the middle of COVID. Because of that, we're going to be 100% remote until February. So what that means is you have this week's intro. Next week, we're going to have kind of the same pace. We'll have a lecture on Tuesday and then a lecture on Thursday using this Zoom call. On Thursday, the first 15 minutes, I'll be presenting a quiz that's over the first week textbook. Once we start in person, sorry, this was based off of last week. So it's Tuesday classes are going to be attended A through L. Thursday classes are going to be attended M through Z. If you are approved for virtual training, your assignment will open in Blackboard during the first 15 minutes of the Thursday session. It is the same quiz everybody's going to take. I understand that puts the Thursday class at a little bit of advantage, but I promise you the quizzes will come straight from the book. It's more just a way of getting attendance and figuring out at some level how you were able to comprehend that chapter. So the university does track attendance, and if they ask me, I will base your attendance off of the last time you submitted a quiz. Each week, there's also the discussion that goes into the attendance. That discussion is meant for you to connect what we're learning in the textbook to a real life example, and we'll go through what those requirements are. So any questions on the COVID preparedness? Everybody understand the requirements?
Yes.
Awesome. So U textbook is actually a free download. All you have to do is go to openstacks.org, click on subjects, click on business, and our textbook is right there, Accounting Volume 1. This is the second semester that we're using this. This was a grant issued by Rice University. So please let's provide some feedback on how this textbook gears the conversation for this semester. I think everybody should be a little bit happy. It's a free textbook. It was quite a bit long ago, but I still remember that that's a big deal. Any questions on the textbook? I've heard it's everyone's been able to get it, but if you're having issues, let me know, but it's right there. Your grading for this semester is going to be based off the above. So professional development, what that is that's 5 attendances at a professional development event. There are going to be 5 that's hosted by the Houston CPA Society. I'll let you know when those are coming up. They will let me know who's attended that. Those 5 are geared towards students. There are others that Houston CPA Society puts on. There are other events out there that might meet professional development. If it's at Houston CPA Society, you're good. You can go. They'll tell me. If it's somewhere else, talk to me beforehand. And I just want to make sure that that meets the requirements that we're talking about, and we'll go from there. Your midterm and final. So during the week of midterms and finals, you will not be in class. The midterm will be attached the midnight before Sunday or on Sunday, and you'll have the entire week to review it. The trade-off is that midterm is going to be and final is going to be a lot more in detail than what you would expect going into class. It is open notes. I'm fine if you Google this definition or that definition. Stay away from the actual question itself. Use your judgment and your honor pledge. But in real life, you get to view all resources that you have. And so I try to mirror the midterm and final based off of that. You'll see 30% of your grade is based off the team projects. If I get through this fast enough, we should be able to have time to go into detail about what the team project is. Know your first assignment for that is due this Sunday, although it just requires getting a group together and giving me what your topics are going to be. So attendance and participation. We talked about the quizzes on the on the submissions of the discussion board and on anything you submit to me this period. Like I said, I'm in the real world. I expect you to be able to present yourself as if you were. So anything that's graded, I grade it as if I'm your boss, and you should submit it to me as if it's basing your paycheck off of it. We need to learn how to communicate in the working environment. It is different than anywhere else, and you need to pick up on those nuances and be able to clearly demonstrate what it is you're trying to convey. Any questions on the grading? Jump into the syllabus. So we do have 16 chapters and only 12 working weeks. So because of that, there are a few weeks where we'll double up. Like I said, I expect you to have read the chapters for that week before I start my lecture on Tuesday. For those that are going to be there, the quiz will be based off of that. And it helps the discussion go along. Kind of the way that I've structured it is that I'll have one PowerPoint for the week. We'll get through as much as we can on Tuesday. We'll finish it up on Thursday, and then we'll get into practice and problems and kind of be more in detail on the Thursday session. So if at all possible, I would have Excel ready for Thursday. If I can't do it in Excel, then I don't do it. And the goal for this semester is to give you tips and tricks on how to implement more use of Excel to be more efficient. Some key dates. So on the screen, you'll see the group project, the rough draft, and the extra credit is due the group project rough draft and the extra credit is going to be due during spring break. I'm telling you about it now, so you have 2 months to do it. I'm not telling you to ruin your spring break. You even have the entire week of midterms beforehand. So I don't expect any issues with this. And then what will happen is you'll submit your group project here. I'll give you some feedback, and then you'll resubmit it once we get down to the statement of cash flows, and then you'll have your final exam period. All grades are due by the Monday after the final exam period. And at that point, it is what it is. All right. Any questions on the calendar? Sorry, I don't know why I got the most squeakiest toy for my dog, but here we are. All righty. So in that case, we'll start going through what the group project is and how to go about it. So for this semester, the prompt is that you need to choose a topic and prepare a summary of the accounting principles. So the US uses FASB. That's the overall accounting board that decides the rules and regulations that the US reporting is based off of. The entire rest of the world uses IASB, International Accounting Standards. The difference, they tend to get to similar answers, but the difference is the way about doing it. So FASB is more rules-based. You'll see specific guidelines. You have to do it this way. You have to do it that way. This is the exceptions. This is what you need to do. The IASB tends to be more of a principles base where they say, in the end, you need to get to this sort of result. But how you go about doing that and exactly why it is a little bit more laxed. And because of that, certain situations tend to have different approaches if you're in FASB or if you're in IASB. So the goal of the semester is for y'all to pick a specific topic, research the different ones, and prepare a summary. The rubric is right here. How you'll present that is 3 different methods. So you'll submit a Word document that has all of the details, and you'll submit this just like any other essay. You'll want to put that into a nice, concise PowerPoint. You'll want to effectively use the tools present. So I don't want too much flash, but I don't want too many words. I need to have a clear, concise message that you can use to prepare your Zoom call. Sorry guys, just give me 1 second. Okay. So during the Zoom call, I chose this assignment because of the fact that in this day and age, you're probably going to be working from home, or you're going to be working from people in different regions, to where you're going to have to do a Zoom call like this. I use Teams, but the point is you're going to be somewhere, you're going to use an electronic tool to communicate somewhere else. And I want to see how you do that in a professional environment. You'll record that. You'll do this. This is the same rubric for the rough draft and the final. What will happen is when I see your rough draft, I'll give you commentary. And then based off of that commentary, I want to see how you improve from your rough draft to your final draft. Okay. And like I said, anything that you submit, you should be submitting it as if it was basing your paycheck off of it. So I expect a nice, professional, complete arrangement. Your group can be anywhere from 3 to 4 members. The topics are going to be any financial statement line item. And so if you look at a balance sheet, you'll see cash, accounts receivable, any of those titles will be what your topic is based off of. So by Sunday, I need every single person to submit through Blackboard the assignment where you list out who your team members are and rank what 3 topics you would like. By next week, mid next week, I'll have everything in Blackboard that says these are your groups, this is your topic, and you're free to go from there. I don't really plan on spending any more class time on the group project. This is supposed to test whether or not you're able to independently work as a group, figure out different strategies, communicate, and then get back to a boss. And so that's kind of the goal. With that in mind, I will recommend having at least 1 Zoom call with me and your team throughout the semester, so that way I can give you an idea of whether or not you're on the right path in terms of the comprehension of the topic that you're given. Any questions on the group project?
I have a question. My name is Esther. Do we already know who are they going to be? I mean, who are going to be our team members for the group project?
Yeah, so the team members is your decision. So you're sorry. Let me 1 second. Sorry, I forgot to go through. So let's just do a quick Blackboard tutorial. I'm assuming most of y'all have used Blackboard before. So when you go into Blackboard, you'll see your courses. Here is principles. The way I have it, so I'll always email out the announcements, but you can go back and see what's what at that point. If you go to course content for the week, you'll have things broken out. I'm only going to put this up probably not till Monday, the week before. So that way it's ready there for Tuesday. If you go to the reading and studying tab, you'll see my PowerPoint slides for that week. You'll see the syllabus or any other tools that I drop in for that week. When you go to the learning and activities assessment, this is where you'll see anything that's required as a grade. And then for that week's submission, right now we've created a discussion board for the need-want group members. But that is your responsibility to reach out, find at least 2 other people that you can connect with and go from there. I will give a warning when we get to the grading of the group projects. So the way that 30% is going to be broken out is you have this week's submission. I'm giving you a free 5%. You just tell me who your members are and what your 3 topics are. You'll get 100 points for the rough draft and the final draft. And then the peer review, 10 points is going to be a discussion board for that week of you presenting. Your group will attach your Zoom video, and then you'll have to go and comment and provide constructive feedback on another group's during the rough draft stage. The other 40 points are going to be based off of your team members. Each person will have to assign a participation grade to another team member. You can only assign an average of 8. So basically everybody did average work and put in the same effort, or you have someone that did great and therefore you have someone that did not so great. So I do encourage you to be active in your groups. Make sure that if you set a meeting, you're there, talk to each other. But this is your responsibility at this point. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
I had a question as well.
Okay.
I'm not really sure how our topic should look like. I know they have to be financial state line items, but could you give us an example of what they should look like?
Yes. Am I still sharing my screen? You can see where I just Googled balance sheet.
Yes.
This one, so any of these, so capital, that one's a weird one. Here you go, this is better. So cash, accounts receivable, inventory, prepaid, investments, any of these topics.
Okay, thank you.
So this week we are turning in 3 potential topics, but we're just going to summarize one, right, for the project?
Yeah, so everybody's going to submit 3 potential topics. I will go through and assign them first come, first serve, 1 per group all the way down.
So when we do the summary, does that have to, so we just look it up on like FASB or ISB, I assume?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's kind of testing your research ability at this point, but yeah, both the FASB and the ISB both have their publications, the whole thing, and you can find thousands of articles on each individual one.
Gotcha. So it's just a summary about one particular thing on this balance sheet.
Yeah, and also you have your textbook as well that can kind of give you an idea. In each of the chapters, there's an international reference that kind of gives you a thought process of what those differences might be.
Okay, thank you so much.
For the writing portion, is there a format we're supposed to follow, APA, MLA, or anything like that?
Yes, so I'm an accountant, not an English major. I'm not going to check which format is in what. It needs to be professional.
Okay, thank you.
I've never had any of my work submissions sent back. You didn't cite correctly, or you used APA instead of MLA, or that's the other one, right? Any other questions on the group project? Like I said, kind of the way that I view the lectures are going to be, this is the information I need to give you. These are the questions we're going to go through. There's going to be questions and answer times for that. I won't bring up the group projects. But if at any point you need more discussion on one of the group, on one of the lecture topics, or if you need help on any of this, just reach out through Zoom and we'll go through it. I don't plan on mentioning it again, but that's not because I don't want to help you. It's just I'm going to be focused on the lecture and getting the overall information as needed. Okay. All righty. Okay, so with that in mind, there's only one extra credit assignment. The extra credit assignment is to make up for the fact that I don't allow late or missed assignments. It just becomes a nightmare. and it causes more and more effort. So because of that, there's no late assignments, but I'm giving you a chance to earn up to 5% of your final grade. I do this at the middle of the semester, so that way you haven't been able to do your calculation for what you need at the end, because I really do want everybody to take the opportunity to perform this assignment. And what the assignment is putting yourself and viewing it as a separate legal accounting entity and doing the same forecasting and budgeting that a normal corporation would do, but for your own personal finances. And so what that means is I want to see what your balance sheet is, what your end result retirement goal is, a 12-month of what your P&L, your budget's going to be. You'll learn the difference, but these three are going to be based off of what's called the accrual method. That's going to be when the economic event occurs, not necessarily when the cash occurs. But as an individual, you're going to have issues with cash flow. And so there's going to be a 12-month expected cash flow. And everything that you submit to me needs to be professional, needs to reconcile within itself. I want to see the effective use of Excel in this. So you'll earn up to 1% for each of these categories, and that is to your final grade. Why I'm doing this is to show you that I do this for myself. And give me 1 second. So I open this pretty much every day. I've been doing this for the past few years now. What this is, like I said, I treat myself like a corporation. So I have a balance sheet that lists out where my current assets and liabilities are. Every month I go in, find the details, find the difference. I reconcile the difference of that month to what my budget is for that month, my ins and my outs. This is all the P&L side of things. I have a 12-month of this is where I want to be. I have a this month, this is where I'm at, and I keep tracking of the difference. I have an end goal. At one point, I want to retire. When I retire, I want to be able to spend the same amount that I'm earning. We're not going to go into detail in this class on time value of money, so I don't expect you to have that added here. What I am grading is that you have an end goal in mind, and you work that end goal back to where you are today. You are in school. I don't expect you to be making too much money. You might even be running negative. That's fine. But the point is to challenge yourself. If you're in the negative, how much negative do you plan on being at the point of getting your degree? What's the step that you're going to take to get out of that negative position? And then at what point are you going to get to your final? And then at the same time, this is based off the accrual method. So when I pay my mortgage, that's actually a transfer because I'm paying down a liability. I'm using an asset. The only P&L part of that is the interest, but at the same time, it takes the total amount out of my paycheck. So I have to go through on a cash basis of what is the ins and outs. Okay. Like I said, very useful. And the purpose of this is that at the end of it, you have this tool that you can then use each month, each year, and really challenge yourself to, because what I've found is by just keeping track of it, even at the start, it'll help you. When you start identifying where are you spending your money, how much are you making, where do you want to be at the end of this, and it kind of motivates you and puts it in the forethought. So that's your extra credit assignment. Any questions at this point?
Do we create our own template, or is there a standard template? to follow on the spreadsheet?
Yeah, so shortly I will create where you drop this in at, and in that prompt I will attach a PDF version of mine. You can use the template. I'm not necessarily worried about. What I'm seeing is whatever template you decide to use, it needs to have these specific points in there. So you need to have a balance sheet, you need to have an income statement, you need to have a cash flow. We'll learn more specifically about why I call those that there and this here. But these are the requirements, and then how you present that is, like I said, I want it to be something you can use, but at the same time, in order for it to be effective, it needs to have these type of things. We got through that a lot faster because we're only a smaller group. But that's basically the goal of this week, is just to kind of give you an idea of what the expectations are, introduce you to me, introduce you to me to you. And yep, that's about it. So any overall questions, thoughts, concerns, issues to this point? I think you still have time to drop if I've scared you off. All right, well, I'm not going to keep you. I'll hang out for a few more minutes if you have any questions, but otherwise have a great weekend. Make sure you submit your intro. It really helps me to have that to go back to. So when we start getting towards setting up Zooms and those type of things, it helps to refresh, so I can go back, this person that looks is this person, and I appreciate that. So must have your picture and a brief intro.
Oh, I have a question. Are we gonna have a quiz for this week?
No, this week is only the intro. So the quizzes are going to be based off the textbook. So you can see here, if we don't have a textbook, you don't have a quiz.
Okay, thank you.
And you said we just reach out to each other to build our own teams for the project?
Yes, and if you need help with that, there's the discussion boards to kickstart the conversation. I'm not going to hold you. Feel free to sign off. I appreciate everybody, and I hope you're excited. Just reach out if you need me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can your team members be from any of the two classes, like Tuesdays and Thursdays? Can it be from any of those two, or it has to be from your particular time?
It's your call.
Okay.
Whoever, I'm not checking. As long as they're a member of this class, and they're okay. Because you have some people that are doing virtual learning too. So you might want to consider the same class days, but because we're not going to spend class time on this, it's really just who can you get in contact with in order to get the necessary work done.
Okay, thank you.